Hi everyone! So this video is answering the question, should you try a menstrual cup or should you switch to a menstrual cup? And the answer is 100% yes. So I have mine here. I've got two and I'll just show you it. So just to warn you, this video is probably going to be a long one. It will be slightly rambly, but I will be sharing my experience of switching to this and just telling you my story and my experience with this, which hopefully will either give you a bit of encouragement if you are considering or you're curious about menstrual cups and you're just Googling and researching on YouTube at the moment, but also there might just be some tips that might help you. So yes, stay with me till the end if you can, and drop me a comment, say hello, like and subscribe. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I'm gonna just put it closer to the camera. So this is how it looks, and it's made of silicone, I think, and it's got these little dots. So you have these little dots, which is how it creates that suction, and it goes in like this. So this is the part that's kind of sticking out of you very, very slightly. Like, this shouldn't really be you shouldn't be feeling this essentially in your underwear. And then it comes in a little bag. So the one I've got is by a brand called Salt, and I've just stuck with this. I did some research and I came across this brand, and I just got it, thought I'd try it out, and then I've just stuck with it. So I've got this and I've got a pink one. I'm just going to put it in this little bag. So my experience with the menstrual cup is still fairly recent. I didn't even know what these were. I don't even know how I came across it, to be honest, but I switched. So the first time I ever tried this was December 2020, and this is August 2021 that I'm filming this. So yeah, it's been 9 months. Actually, it's been quite a while. I hadn't realised, but I just wish I'd used this sooner. I wish that everyone was using these, and that yeah, I just wish I'd known about this sooner. I don't know why I didn't know about this. I feel like they're kind of a very well kept secret, maybe. But I was using tampons for many years, and pads. I have a very heavy flow, which typically lasts 5 to 7 days, and it's usually pretty draining, and just I always feel really gross, and I'm having to change my tampons every 2 to 3 hours because they're just absolutely drenched in the first few days. And yeah, it's just never a positive, for me, it's never a positive experience. Like, the thought of getting my period is always just an inconvenience, and I typically will try not to do other stuff if I can, like even, you know, running or fitness or going out somewhere, which would be quite far and require toilets, access to toilets. I don't know, I just tend to like to just stay at home when I'm on my period. But since I've had this, I don't care anymore. It's absolutely fine. I just do everything, go swimming, everything. So I think I came across the menstrual cup because I ended up on some sort of spiral around environmental issues, and I was educating myself on eco-friendly products, and somehow I came across this, and that was the original motivation, actually, because I hadn't realised how bad tampons are for the environment. That was the original point of me discovering this, and ending up on this journey. And because they don't decompose, they are just really bad for the environment, and the chemicals that I used in pads aren't good for you either. So I had come across the menstrual cup, and I was like, oh my god, I don't think I could ever do that. I don't think I could ever use something like that. But I watched YouTube videos and people sharing their experience about it or how to use it, and they were just so encouraging. And that's actually why I'm contributing with this video to the community, just to help spread the word about menstrual cups, because it helped me when I was searching on YouTube, so maybe my video will help people. But those videos I watched just really, really encouraged me and made me feel so much more comfortable about it. And I read all the comments on the videos and people talking about their experiences, and it just seemed less intimidating and daunting. So I did research. I got one actually off Amazon, this salt brand. And there's a few different ways that you can put it in. So there'll be videos that you can watch, and you can Google. There's lots of articles that show you pictures and diagrams of the different ways you can put this in. But the way that works for me is, if you're holding it like this, you just push it down. So it kind of looks like a petal. So you push it down. So this part is going in to the centre, the bottom there. And you've got this little hole, and then I just push the two sides together to make sure there's no kind of air in there, because you don't really want air inside there when you're pushing it inside you. And then you just push that, and obviously it goes in diagonally, so it's not upright. If you use tampons, you'll already know this. So yeah, it goes in diagonally, and then this is the point that goes in, and you have to take a deep breath. I actually used to just like listen to music at the start. It sounds weird, but I would just like play some music just to kind of take my mind off it and relax. It's because what you need to do is open up down there. You need to open up. You can't be tense, because otherwise it's just going to feel really uncomfortable. So you need it to open up, and then it just slides in, and as it goes in, you can just slowly let go, and then it just plop. You hear a pop, it just pops open inside. But what you need to do, and this is the trick, because I have a heavy flow, this is very important for me to do. I put my finger, this is also something I wasn't comfortable with and that I am now okay with, but you need to feel comfortable putting your whole finger inside. And I personally don't like having long nails for that, because it hurts. Maybe for others it doesn't, but I always make sure my nails are short. And I also really clean them. I have a brush now that I'm a bit OCD, so I will really clean my nails out after. But you put your finger in, you slide your finger up, and then you just put it around it when it's inside you. And what can happen sometimes is it will kind of be like that, like there'll be a bit that's kind of dented in, and that's because I think it's to do with these circles, it's to do with these holes. So what you do is you just squeeze. So when it's inside you, you just you have to turn it around. So you can swivel this around inside you. This might sound really scary and daunting right now. The more you do it, the easier and more natural it gets. Like, that's not even an issue for me anymore. But when I first didn't understand why I was still leaking with this in, Salt have a Facebook group, which has been an amazing resource for me, an amazing resource, because you can ask as many TMI questions as you want in there, and thousands of people in there, and they will always give you advice. So I was saying, I'm not sure why I'm still leaking with this inside, and they said it's because what you need to do is make sure that this is fully open. So when you put your finger around, make sure that it feels like it's fully open and there aren't any kind of dents, if that makes sense. And if there is, you just squeeze this bottom bit. So you would just squeeze the bottom and just turn it round inside you, and then it gets rid of any kind of air, I think, but it just opens up. Then it'll open up inside you, and it should be fully in. So you shouldn't have any of this kind of hanging out of you. It should all be in. It's not going to go anywhere, so don't worry about it kind of getting lost inside you. That's, I think, physically impossible. So it's got nowhere else to go. It will be fine, but you don't want this dangling outside of you. And this only needs to be changed twice a day. So when I wake up, when I first got this, and the next morning I felt like I couldn't get it out, and I was actually a bit worried, and I'd left a little post in this Facebook group, and people had said to me, don't worry about it. They were like, sometimes you need to let gravity do its thing, so just maybe walk around a little bit, have breakfast, and then try again, and then it'll come down a bit maybe. But it's actually just a case of, you just need to feel comfortable getting up inside there, squeeze and pull it out. That's it. You just literally You have to squeeze it, and as you squeeze it, it will just come out, and this will be full of blood and it will just pour inside the toilet. So always be mindful as you're pulling it out. Keep a good grip on it. You don't want this falling inside the toilet. And then sorry, that was just the door. And then I will have some tissue because I don't want it dripping everywhere. And it's usually so much easier if the sink is near you, so you can stay on the toilet personally. But then I will just drop it over and then rinse it with cold water first. Apparently, if you rinse it with cold water first, then the blood doesn't stain this. If you use hot water, then you start to get kind of staining on this, and then you need to use I can't remember what it is. There is a chemical, there's something that you can use, which when I figure it out, I'll research it. I'll put that in the description box, but that will get all the stains out of it. But what I do is I pull it out, drop, have a bit of tissue ready, hold it over the sink, rinse it with cold water, and then I have a salt menstrual cup wash, and this is what I personally do. I don't know if everyone does that or if it's just me being really OCD, but I don't want any risks of toxic shock syndrome or any bacteria, and I also just don't like the smell, to be honest. So I will use some of my salt menstrual cup wash, have all of that ready, rinse it under warm water, and then just leave it, and then make sure it's dry. And the way that I make sure it's dry is I will make sure there's no water clogged up in these holes, because these have to be clear for that suction to work inside of you and for it to fully open. So what I do is I actually blow through these holes, and that was a tip I learned through watching YouTube videos. So you just blow through it, make sure there's no water kind of around these holes, and then push, hold it down, make sure that it's not got any air in there, and then insert it in, and then release, and then finger around, just kind of go like that a little bit, squeeze slightly on the bottom of it, make sure it's fully open, and then you can leave it. You get no leakage, it doesn't feel uncomfortable. Sometimes what I first found, and when I was reading a lot of the comments on this Facebook group, were that it can feel like it's pushing on your cervix, or pushing on your bladder. I'm not sure about the bladder part, but with the cervix, what I learned was that your cervix moves throughout your cycle. And sometimes it can be lower, sometimes it can be higher. So if it feels like it's pushing on your cervix, you just need to kind of play around with it a little bit, just move it around, maybe see if you can just adjust the positioning slightly, and even just the minutest like repositioning can make a huge difference. That's it. Literally leave it the whole day. 12 hours is when you need to make sure you take it out, clean it, and then put it back in. I don't ever have like overflow. It's never, I have a lot of blood that comes out of me in my cycle, but this never overflows. I'm not sure why. If you do know, just comment. I don't know how this works, if it is blocking it, I don't know, or if you just don't really have physically that much blood pouring out of you as much as you think when you're using a tampon or you're using a pad, because it just looks so gross and messy. This is just much more hygienic personally. I think I just feel cleaner. I don't feel gross. I don't feel like I'm on my period, and I don't know, I just feel so much better. I don't mind wearing this in the swimming pool. And what I will do in the mornings is I will have a shower. I'll take it out, have a shower, and then I'll put it in the shower once I'm done, and then rinse myself off, and then I'm done for the day. And then it's just yeah, it's just life-changing. Honestly, this has changed my life, and it's great for the environment, it's great for our planet, it's much more cost effective. I think this might have cost me 20 quid, £20, something like that, and I got it off Salt's store on Amazon, purely because I just wanted it quickly. That was the main reason I just went directly on there. And there was just more choice. The other thing that I haven't mentioned that I just remembered is that I got a menstrual cup steaming machine. So basically, I might actually go grab it, so I'll pause the video and I'll go grab it. So this is the Pixie menstrual cup cleaner, and Sarah's picked that up. So what you do, so you have to plug it in, and what you do is it comes with a little like a little mini tiny ladle, and I think it's about 5 milliliters of water, but you fill that up, pour that in here, and there's a little dot to say don't go past that line, and when you plug it in, you push this button in and a red light will come on, and you put your menstrual cup in this, but you do this at the end of your cycle, and then it's ready for the next time you use this, and you just put it in your bag, and then it's ready for the next time you use it. But you put it in there, put the lid on, the red light will be on, and this, I think it's about 3 to 5 minutes, something like that, and it basically just steam cleans it. It removes all the bacteria, and it's just really hygienic. So once you've done that, you can take it out and then you can use it. And what I do is, because I am just a little bit OCD, I will clean it at the end of my cycle, but then the next month when it's time for me, when my period comes, I will then use it again, just in case, you know, I don't know why, I just feel like I just need to clean it again before I use it. And this is the salt cleaner menstrual cup wash that I use, which has no harsh chemicals, no irritants, no parabens, and is specifically for menstrual cups. So you don't really want to be using any chemicals, or I don't even know if it's okay to be using soap on them, because you know, like hand soap or shower gels or any of those kind of chemicals, we don't really know what's in that, and then you're putting that inside of you in a very sensitive area. So and it could also be damaging the silicone. I don't really know exactly, but what I do know is that it's not advised. So yeah, that's it. I've got the cup, I've got my salt wash, and I have my Pixie cup cleaner, steam cleaner, and that's it, and that's all I need. And these cups last you for about 10 years, I think. If there's ever any rips, if it does ever rip or anything, just replace it, bin it, get a new one. And I have two, and what I will do sometimes is just interchange, and I've got one in pink and one in blue. Like the colour makes no difference, but yeah, I just like to have choice. That's just me. So yeah, I hope this has been helpful. I hope this has inspired you to at least check it out. If you have any questions, just feel free to comment and reach out. I'm more than happy to help you. I just can't believe how quickly I adapted to this. I was very nervous about using it. I didn't think I'd be able to. I didn't think I had it in me to learn how to do this for some reason. It just, because I don't really get all up in there. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I just didn't like the idea of it at all. Of being that intimate with myself. But now it's not even an issue at all. You know, it doesn't faze me that I see blood on my hands. But what I do is I'm really kind of OCD with cleaning my nails, because I just don't like the idea of any of that blood potentially getting in there. So that's my only other tip. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope that you will check it out, and sending you lots and lots of love. Thank you. Bye.